Alrighty, everybody. Alrighty, welcome. Happy Wednesday, and welcome back to Outlaw Radio. We'll talk about everything from wrestling to writing to sports and the challenges that everyone faces in life. Of course. Hi there, everybody. Let's get the right font. There we are. Hi, everybody. I, of course, am the Outlaw Knight, pro wrestler, self-published author, father, and communicator. Welcome to my little corner of the internet. And if you actually are here live, whether it's here on YouTube, there on TikTok, and you're able to see my washing machine in the background, sorry about that. This is not what I'd planned on doing tonight. It is 1:15 in the morning. It's about 12 hours earlier than I'd planned on doing the show, but just scheduling being the way it was, I didn't want to miss this out. And I figured I would just go live. We're going to have the conversation now. And here we are. So thank you to everyone who's joining me right now. And let's get going. Oh my God, that air is outrageous. I've got the headset on, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Tell you what, before I do anything else here, let's just get those off. Oh, hi everybody. Well, this is going to make for great content. I'll tell you that much right now. So today, hi everybody. I'm a big gray-haired silly fellow. Today, I want to talk about a little bit about San Diego Comic-Con fallout and ask a question that I've been hearing a lot lately from friends and people online about whether or not the genre bubble has burst. I want to see it's burst. Now, some obvious caveats right off the top. I, first of all, was not at San Diego Comic-Con this past week. So all the info I'm speaking about is from what I've gleaned from looking into things, hearing other people and professionals online talking about it, doing a lot of reading, and trying to figure out about all the things that went down. Second, obviously, in case you weren't sure, I am a huge nerd. Right behind me, I've got my Star Wars shrine back there with, original VHS copies of certain movies and other things that are up there. I'm a huge nerd. I'm proud of it. And as such, the importance of an event like San Diego Comic-Con in my life is sort of significant. I've been eagerly following genre and movie news coming out of San Diego every summer for at least 15 years. Sometimes I've dug deep into the forbidden spoilers, but more often than not, I just wanted confirmation of projects that I'm passionate about and can look forward to. Let me be clear. Whether it's hearing more from Star Wars creators about how well Maul did on Disney Plus to learning about all of the actors that were announced or not quite announced for Avengers Doomsday, trailer drops for the new Reacher and Neely shows on Prime, all of the DC news, Star Trek, and of course, all of the actual comic book news, I'm here for it all. But again, that's just me. So the question I'm wondering about today, well, one of several questions, I think, is if this annual convention continues to hold the kind of sway over pop culture that it once did. So let's talk about it. But first, I would really be honored. I would really, truly be honored if you'd consider checking out the links in the description below this conversation here. Or if it's easier, check out the QR code up over my shoulder. Going the way there is the best way for you to support the type of work that I do here, providing insights and thoughts for you all. There you'll find the links to all my merchandise, which is featured here. For example, if you like reading and want to enjoy some of my Canadian-based urban fantasy, please check out my Overdrive series, available here in paperback, hardcover, and ebook. If you want to support my wrestling adventures, please, again, go to the QR code, go to prowrestlingtees.com. Please check out and see if this is something you'd be honored to wear around the streets of your home or your city. That would be great. And if not, I totally understand how that is. So thank you for that. With those plugs out of the way, let's get back to the meat of this episode. So, from the eye test alone, just looking at the footage, the videos, and all of the pictures, San Diego Comic-Con clearly remains a huge draw for genre fans of all ages. Men, women, children, furries, Klingons, gentlefolk of all identities descended upon San Diego to literally press the flesh and mingle amongst their kinfolk. That's nothing new. But let's be real, these are the hardest of the hardcore amongst the hardcore fandoms. To use an AEW term, These folks are the real sickos who work all year just to be a part of this event. They get their best cosplay together to go see and be seen by all of the people who want to see and be seen there. The question that remains, does success at San Diego Comic-Con translate into success outside of there? Let's say box office success in 2026. Clearly, I am no expert. Unlike many of those on the internet who will claim to be, some of them even actually are. Possibly. More importantly, I am in no way a self-centered cynic who's going to judge any project based solely upon how popular it is or is not. In the case of any movie or TV show specifically, there are at least hundreds of people who worked very hard and did very long hours to create something for you to watch and enjoy. And there are just so many ways for a project like that to get twisted. And as I've said before, anytime anything at all is made and is put on screen is practically a miracle. So if you're expecting this channel, Outlaw Radio, to suddenly have a lot of red eyes in the thumbnails where I'm going to get all misogynistic and bitter and talk about how the woke media is trying to take over the world, you're wrong. I'm not going to do that. And you're also wrong. It's not. What I do have here are some observations. Number one. This is really hard for me to admit, but it's the truest thing I can say today. Pretty much all of the things that I personally geek out over are old things. Star Wars, Marvel Comics, Transformers, Pro Wrestling, Dungeons and Dragons, Star Trek. I mean, none of this is a surprise. These are the things that I grew up with in the 80s. Hello, a long time ago. And the fact that they're still around at all is a testament to their staying power, sure. These are old things for my old-ass self and everybody else. In addition to this, as my buddy Brian Alvarez of Figure 48 said just yesterday on his live show, the way that people consume media today is totally different. There's just no more stumbling across the show while you're flipping through channels on TV. There's no more spinning the comics rack at the local pharmacy to see what the latest book is about. There's no more video rental shops to browse posters and faded boxes endlessly while wondering what was on those movies that I wasn't old enough to rent yet. At best, people these days are finding their things from chopped up clips in their social feeds that hopefully will breadcrumb them back to their main source. Or they're grandfathered in by their friends, family, or their literal grandfathers who saw the original Dolph Lundgren He-Man movie in the theaters. It was better in the theaters. But let's also not skim over just how badly the COVID lockdowns changed the way that media is consumed and distributed today. Okay, yes, that period of time had some other issues as well, but let's stay focused here on media. With the amount of streaming platforms available, we are now bombarded with new shows, movies, serials, special events, sporting extravaganzas, primo concert events on at least 30 different services in Canada alone. And while, again, box office is not the be-all and end-all of success for media today, it is a useful tool to examine what is able to break through all the noise and to connect to an audience. The Odyssey is a prime example of this. One might even call it a cultural phenomenon. Helmed once again, of course, by the brilliant Christopher Nolan and backed by an all-star cast and crew. The Odyssey is art for art's sake, but it is also in many ways the godfather of genre fiction, which makes it extra interesting that I don't think there was much, if any, press for it at San Diego Comic-Con. Go figure. But in this way, I kind of believe that the success of the Odyssey helps to make my overall point. Before San Diego Comic-Con became ground zero for all things pop culture, it was first and foremost a swap meet for comic book collectors. It was, and remains, a celebration of artists, writers, publishers, and collectors. a place where fans could meet the people who created their favorite characters, to show some love and appreciation, or even question and challenge these same creators in hopefully friendly debate. See, this is how it used to be done before comment sections and post skits. You actually had to go and look people in the eye before you got snarky. That's it. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. Thanks. But San Diego Comic-Con was, and by all accounts remains, a safe haven for people to celebrate the things they love with like-minded folks, which means people can come together, show support for the things that they love, for stories of fun, adventure, romance, and space travel. Once again, what actual measurements of success or popularity are difficult to determine and collate. This is thanks for, let's try that again. I wrote all this down, sorry. Once again, while actual measurements of success or popularity are difficult to determine and collate, thanks for that, corporate overlords, for your even shadier accounting and accountability practices that we used to get back in the day. Again, the overall eye test that I mentioned before is impossible to ignore. But I don't just mean at San Diego Comic-Con. Genre culture and fandoms aren't niche anymore. It's not pop culture. It's just culture. Today, there are literal kids who pretend to wave lightsabers, pretending to be characters that their grandparents idolized. Walk down any street anywhere in the world, and you'll see people wearing merchandise inspired by bands, movies, TV shows, comic books, anime. It's just everywhere. And maybe that's a problem for some. Maybe that's why so many want to say that the market is oversaturated, that the bubble is burst, that this new world makes the fandoms of my generation feel less special to my fellow gray-bearded nerds who used to get roasted for bringing up Ninja Turtle references into regular middle school conversations. That happened. But I truly think it's better this way. This year's San Diego Comic-Con's had panels for it all. Books and authors, toy makers and publishers, collectors, public speakers and signings, social media influencers, musical artists, WWE and AEW stars in the same building. Plus, of course, all of the big Hall H, Marvel, and DC movie launches. So no, I don't think the genre bubble is dead. I think it's just evolved. Maybe it's past time for the discourse around genre to evolve too. At least that's what I think. Thank you again for everyone who is here today. If you're here afterwards down below, I would appreciate if you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. That would be great. For everyone who is, has something to say, please reach out and let me know. Thank you for being here today and joining this conversation whenever you came in. I'll be back next week with another topic or another guest, and hopefully I'll have a better setup. Curtains are falling down, and I'd like to have my background be a little more clear, but that's okay. Until then, keep your head up, keep your eyes on the prize, keep being good to yourself so that you can be good to others. Thank you very much.